are looking at becoming the commissioner in, what is that, the third district? The second district, which encompasses Hobart, Lake of the Four Seasons,
Not Hobart.
Not Hobart.
Under the new redistricting,
It does not.
Does not cover Hobart.
Okay.
Everything south of 30.
Uh-huh.
And north of 30 would be Cherville and Maryville.
Okay, so all right.
That's pretty much
it. So
yeah.
You are looking to become the commissioner from that district.
We need to change big time. We need to end the sweetheart contracts that go on. If you log on and look at the commissioner's website, there's virtually no information. None of the contracts are on there, their agenda. There's no reason why their commissioners meeting couldn't be streamlined so that the citizens can view what's going on. And once they view what's going on, then end all these sweetheart contracts. And also this trash, this garbage to ethanol project. And, about 10 years ago, Jerry Shube was sued because they ended the contract with Hickory Hills, and I'm kind of summarizing the whole thing. And the result of that, we ended up paying almost $10 million to settle that lawsuit. No landfill here in Lake County, no master plan, and it was all Jerry Shube, who's been headlining all this as chairman of the Lake County Solid Waste District. He comes off and on, but Jerry's pretty much the person in charge of all of that. So as a result, for over 10 years, we don't have a waste management proposal. Then they decided about maybe 5 years ago, we're going to go to this garbage to ethanol. And they promised workers, construction workers, all of these jobs, everything else. In fact, 4 years ago, Jerry Shube said he's running again because he wants to see this project be completed. Well, it's been 4 years now, and it's not been completed. You had one company that opted out once they found out who was part of the company, or whatever the case may be, and they decided to go out, or they gave it to this Powers group, Earl Powers. He got the contract over 3 years ago, and as I understand it, he's a financier and is not really involved in the industry of garbage to ethanol, and still nothing. And so a couple months ago in November, long story short, nothing has happened. Many people have read the different things in the Times newspaper and heard it here. I've talked about it before on WJOB. It's just been really just one smoke and mirrors, one move here, one move there, toss the coin here, give it to somebody else, trade the football, so you never know where's it at. And so now, about in November, Jerry Shube announced at the Solid Waste Board meeting that Earl Powers has now has connected with a guy named Hugo Cedina. Hugo Cedina is director, owner of a company called Visage One LLC. Hugo, and then Cedina, you spell it C-E-D-E-N-A, and Visage, V as in Victor, I-S-A-G-E, One LLC. The reason I spell both of those, because many people like to Google things and check things out for themselves. Check those out, and you'll find that we can't find where this guy is at. He says he's at in Las Vegas, Nevada. We checked with the Nevada authorities in terms of, I Googled it. Can't find either Hugo, can't find Visage One Incorporated in Nevada. He says he's at the convention center in Las Vegas. I Googled the tenants there at the convention center. No Hugo Cedina, no Visage One. So then what I did, I sent Jerry a request for public access. If this is the guy who's going to raise $300 million to build this garbage to ethanol plant, of which now they don't even have property in Schneider, which they used to have.
Let's get to the property in a second.
Yeah.
And I do want to cover that on this.
And so now...
So you went at the Lake County Solid Waste Management District Board, and of course Jerry Shube, who's also a commissioner, is the president of that board. Correct. And you asked for what exactly? I
asked him for the business records, or rather the business history of Hugo Cedina or Visage One. If this guy's going to raise $300 million for our project, and he says he's been involved throughout the United States on different public and municipal entities and projects, you'd think he'd be all over the United States. Well, we can find no project that he's been involved in. Can't even find where he's listed at. He says he's working with a company here in Chicago, Development Capital International. So I Googled that in the state of Illinois. Couldn't find that company. I Googled Visage One or Hugo Cedina in the state of Illinois. is not listed. So I said, well, I'm just going to go directly to the source. Jerry, could you tell me something about this guy? Could you tell me what's his business record? Surely they got to be proud of this person. They brought him to the November board via teleconference. They had him up on the screen. He was talking to the board members and those who were there. And so surely they'll be glad to talk about what's his history, what has he done, how's he going to raise this money. This guy's going to raise $300 million, him and his group. They've got less than 30 days. They said they would do it in 90 days. This was in November. So by the end of February, they're supposed to raise $300 million. So I said, well, I think the public has the right to know who this person is, how's he going to do it. He doesn't even have a website. He doesn't even have anything. And here's a guy who's going to raise $300 million. I hope they do raise it. First of all, I hope the project does continue. But it's been one smoke and mirrors. It's been a debacle one right after the other, beginning with Hickory Hills. You know, with Hickory Hills, we had probably lost, as a result here in Lake County, probably over $500 million in money, investment, money that would have come from garbage fees going to our landfill.